This 15-year-old nerd high school student has a serious crush on his bombastic English teacher.
匂える芋を憎くあらば。浅野くん?
One night, when he tries to confess his feelings to her near a convenience store, some goofy, masked criminals rush in to rob it. She quickly changes into a $20 cosplay costume from Temu.
こんな先生でも好き。
At the exact same moment, a 40-year-old unemployed-looking man races to the same spot, and he too transforms into a homemade, goofy-looking, mosquito-themed masked man. What the f*** is going on here? Let's find out. Tajima's story begins in a quiet forest, where he trains alone by punching a tree, something he has done since childhood. Back then, his life revolved around the superhero show Kamen Rider. Inspired by the hero's sense of justice, he promised himself he would become a real-life Kamen Rider someday.
仮面ライダーになりたい!
Years later in high school, his crush Emily pulled him aside and pretended to confess her feelings.
東島くんが好き。私と付き合ってください。
はい!
ごめんなさい!
Seconds later, her boyfriend Kitagawa revealed it was just a bet. Tajima didn't react or argue. He simply walked away, leaving everyone quiet. Emily felt guilty and later apologized by the river, admitting she always saw him as different, calm, focused, and living by his own rules.
東島くんって
Their moment was interrupted by a gang of punks. When their leader tried to drag Emily away, Tajima stopped him, dropping him and the rest of the group with ease. The next morning, the same punks took Emily hostage in front of the school. Tajima stepped forward, mocked their fake toughness, and fought them again, but this time they overwhelmed him. As they dragged Emily away, she screamed his name, igniting something inside him. Tajima stood up, tore off his shirt, revealed a strange mark on his stomach, and declared he was transforming into Kamen Rider. The punks laughed, until he took them all down with a few blows. Emily, frightened by his blood-covered face, ran away, leaving him ashamed. After that, Tajima trained alone for 20 years. He finally accepted that Kamen Rider and Shocker were just characters from a children's show. And at 40, his dream felt empty. One day, he screamed into the forest wishing real Shocker would appear, only for a bear to attack. Tajima fought it off. But even defeating a bear didn't make him feel like a hero. Eventually, he sold all his Kamen Rider merchandise, drank alone at night, and watched the news. When he saw criminals calling themselves Shocker, attacking stores using poses from the show, he felt disappointed. They weren't real villains, just fools copying TV scenes. At a fireworks festival the next day, he wandered through the crowd and briefly remembered a day his father had given him money to enjoy himself. The warm memory faded as he bought takoyaki and continued walking. Nearby, a small-time gang leader named Nakao gathered his men, gave them cheap Shocker masks, and declared they were going to liven up the festival. The group stormed the festival, destroying a takoyaki stall and scaring the elderly cook. Tajima froze when he saw it. It looked exactly like the Shocker attacks from the news. The old man begged for help, and the crowd stepped back. Tajima hesitated. The last time he transformed, he lost everything. But watching the helpless vendor finally pushed him forward. He walked to a mask stall, bought a Kamen Rider mask, and put it on. Nakao laughed and sent his men toward him. Tajima trembled, not from fear, but emotion, and declared loudly that he was Kamen Rider. Tajima freezes when he hears himself say, Kamen Rider. The words bring tears to his eyes. For the first time in decades, he feels like the hero he always wanted to be. The crowd records him while the goons stare, unsure whether to attack the crying masked man. Tajima wipes his tears, takes a stance and charges forward, dropping 2 goons instantly. He leaps from a food stall and knocks out the last thug with a powerful kick. The whole festival goes silent. Realizing everyone is watching, he panics and runs away. By morning, the entire city has seen the video of the Kamen Rider who saved the festival. A young woman named Yuro watches the news while training in her homemade hero suit. Instead of being inspired, she's annoyed. Someone became a hero before she did. And worse, he was only using a festival mask. She decides to hunt him down. The next day, Yuro returns to her job as a Japanese teacher. A student named Asano keeps staring at her instead of studying. When she asks him to rewrite a poem, he accidentally turns the final line into a love confession, embarrassing himself in front of the class. Later at home, he imagines her living an elegant life, while in reality, she's at the gym lifting weights in her hero costume, raging about the fake Kamen Rider. Her thoughts drift to childhood. After being bullied, her father introduced her to Kamen Rider. She loved the female hero Tackle and practiced her poses non-stop. One day, she discovered an old tape, Tackle's final episode, where Tackle sacrificed herself to save Kamen Rider. The scene shattered young Yuro. Her father comforted her and explained Tackle's bravery, revealing he named Yuro after her. He gave her a small hero costume and told her she was Tackle in the real world. From that day, she wanted to become a hero. Back in the present, Yuro snaps out of her memory and notices she has angrily scribbled about Tajima all over the classboard. That night, Nakao gathers his gang again for another robbery. They're scared, but he tells them he'll join this time. Meanwhile, Asano confesses to Yuro again. She stands frozen, unsure how to respond when police sirens cut through the air. The Shocker gang is robbing stores nearby. She sees a thug knock out an officer with one punch and realizes she has to choose between dealing with Asano or acting like the hero she dreamed of becoming. After the gang escapes, she decides to chase them herself, leaving Asano behind. Elsewhere, Tajima proudly reads articles calling him a hero. Then he hears a robbery nearby, the same Shocker group. They don't recognize him without the mask, so he quickly puts it on and dramatically introduces himself. The gang stares in disbelief as Tajima tears up again, happy to face real villains. Yuro arrives moments later and is immediately annoyed. She thinks Tajima is stealing her moment Asano calls out to her, but she ignores him. Tajima gets into a fighting stance, but before he can move, Yuro slams into him, sending him flying. Even the Shockers are startled. Yuro proudly introduces herself as Tackle, though the villains don't recognize the name. One mocks her, so she throws him into his teammates. Dropping them all at once, Asano watches. Amazed, people take photos while Yuro retrieves her purse from him. She thanks him, tells him to keep her identity secret, and runs off behind Tajima. The Shockers struggle to their feet. Nakao removes his mask and swears revenge, but quickly changes the subject when Tajima reminds him Tackle beat him too. Nakao claims he prefers Shocker over Kamen Rider anyway and leaves with his gang. Tajima watches Yuro go, realizing she might love her hero just as deeply as he loves Kamen Rider. The next day at school, Yuro secretly reads an article praising her heroic act, smiling proudly. A nearby teacher notices, and she awkwardly hides her excitement. Meanwhile, Nakao sits with his gang, holding a mask he redesigned to resemble a Shocker villain. He declares himself a Yakuza boss and says real heroes need real villains. His gang reluctantly follows him to commit another robbery. At a supermarket, a live streamer prepares content, bragging he'll buy 100,000 yen worth of snacks. As he gathers items, the Shocker gang bursts in, posing dramatically and scaring everyone. Mao pushes a man aside and demands money from the cashier. The streamer hides while recording everything, thrilled about going viral. One Shocker mocks him for buying so much food. Viewers flood the stream. Tajima sees it and rushes toward the supermarket. Yuro runs toward the supermarket too. Unaware, Tajima is nearby without his mask. Inside, a man grabs Nakao's arm and orders him to stop. When a goon threatens him, the man suddenly transforms into an authentic Shocker villain. Everyone freezes, including the streamer. Tajima and Yuro arrive at the same time and realize the man looks like a real Shocker soldier. Tajima quickly puts on his Kamen Rider mask. Yuro catches him and calls him a fake, then changes into her Tackle suit. Tajima mocks her ladybug outfit, but before they can argue, The store windows explode as the real villain blasts Nakao's men outside. The streamer films everything until someone drags him away. Nakao trembles as the villain approaches. When he asks if he's truly from the original Shocker, the man confirms it, then launches Nakao onto the roof and back down in one brutal hit. Tajima cries with joy. His first real villain. He charges in, lands one punch, and gets thrown aside. Yuro jumps in, dodges the villain's attacks, and slams him into the ground. Tajima joins with a rider kick. Their combined strike finally knocks the Shocker soldier unconscious. The two heroes stare at the fallen villain in disbelief. Yuro immediately scolds Tajima for jumping into danger, but the store suddenly goes dark. A strange figure appears, drops a heavy bag that melts into liquid, and his face transforms into a monster-like jaw. A dart shoots from his mouth and hits the Shocker soldier, dissolving him instantly. The monster aura fades, and the man looks at Nakao but decides not to finish him. He disappears into the shadows. Tajima and Yuro finally understand. Shocker is a real criminal organization. Later, they sit in a cafe to talk. Yuro is shocked to learn Tajima is 40 and still acts like an excited teenager. Tajima proudly claims he loves Kamen Rider more than any kid, leaving her speechless. They realize the man they defeated was only a low-level grunt, and the monster-like figure was a high-ranking member. Yuro suggests they stay away from such dangers, but Tajima challenges her. How can she call herself Tackle if she runs away? Before they can argue, the cafe manager approaches. He introduces himself as Mitsuba and says he overheard everything. He even shows them security footage and claims to have information about Shocker. When they ask how he knows, he warns that the explanation will take 3 business days. Tajima gets excited, while Yuro looks ready to leave. Ignoring her, Mitsuba begins a long childhood story. A waitress watches them with irritation. Mitsuba explains that he and his brother once befriended a gardener who shared delicious fruits. One day, they saw thugs threaten the gardener, but the gardener offered them food instead. The thugs loved it. But when the gardener suddenly declared he would burn down the neighborhood, he transformed into a Shocker creature. He attacked the thugs, and later his house exploded into flames. Mitsuba's brother rescued the unconscious thugs, and from that day Mitsuba began seeking the truth about Shocker. Before he can continue, his girlfriend Yukurisu storms in, furious. He whispers to Yuro that she's jealous. Before leaving, he warns them that Shocker has already infiltrated society. After he leaves, Tajima asks Yuro what she plans to do. She admits she'll keep fighting as Tackle. Tajima vows to continue as Kamen Rider, and awkwardly wonders if she likes him. She shuts him down immediately. As he begs for her number for hero coordination, she reluctantly gives it. Elsewhere, Mitsuba comforts Yukurisu. She asks if he really loves her. When he reassures her, she smiles sweetly, but her expression darkens once he turns away. The next day, Yuro teaches her class as usual. Asano stares at her, imagining her Tackle costume and fantasizing weird scenarios. Lost in his thoughts, he suddenly yells in class, embarrassing himself. After school, he secretly follows her to the gym storage room and hears voices inside. Peeking through the door, he sees Yuro trying to pull away from another girl. The girl removes Yuro's glasses and asks why she isn't curious about being called there. Her tone shifts from sweet to cold. Asano watches in shock as the girl steps out of the shadows. Mitsuba's girlfriend, Yukurisu. Yuro is confused. Yukurisu accuses her of dating Mitsuba, then admits she beats up any woman who talks to him. Yuro points out she just confessed to crimes, but Yukurisu laughs it off, saying love makes her crazy. When Yuro tries to leave, Yukurisu stops her and reveals the truth with a chilling smile. She is a member of Shocker, something even her boyfriend doesn't know. Yuro freezes as Yukurisu suddenly transforms into her Shocker uniform. Asano panics and screams, drawing both their attention. Yukurisu opens the door, already planning to silence him. Yuro quickly changes into her Tackle suit and asks if Yukurisu really thinks she can win. The villain mocks her, until Yuro calmly kicks her in the jaw, sending her crashing into old equipment. She tells Asano to go home and says she can handle this. Yukurisu gets up with a bloody nose, furious that a human humbled her. Yuro reminds her that Mitsuba is human too. Enraged, Yukurisu charges. Her punch cracks solid metal as Yuro dodges. She attacks again, but Yuro blocks with a kick and gets pushed into equipment. Yukurisu tries to end the fight, but Yuro ducks the blow, sweeps her leg, and slams her down with a powerful throw. Meanwhile, Tajima is working out. When he gets Yuro's urgent message, he rushes out and later meets her and Mitsuba in a parking lot. Tajima shows him Yukurisu unconscious, and Mitsuba nearly collapses after learning his girlfriend is a shocker. They take her to a park, where Mitsuba explains he once had another terrifying encounter with shockers as a child. He remembers the summer after the fruit garden incident. He and his brother Ikkyo were at their grandfather's house when thieves broke in, knocked out their grandfather, and began robbing the place. Ikkyo snapped and attacked one of them, kicking him across the room. Humiliated, the thief transformed into a shocker and easily knocked Ikkyo out before tying up the boys and their grandfather. His wife ate their food while he bragged about his crimes. Then their giant grandmother came home. She smashed the shocker's shoulder with a rake and freed her husband, but the thieves turned monstrous and attacked her outside. Minutes later, the boys found both thieves dead, and their grandmother impaled by an inhumanoid monster. Their grandfather charged at the creature in grief, only to be killed instantly. The monster complained about its incompetent underling, noticed the boys watching, and flew away, sparing them. Mitsuba ends the story, revealing the creature was an inhumanoid, the same threat he fears now. Suddenly, someone calls out to their group. The heroes turn to see Ikkyo. Mitsuba introduces him but instantly panics. If Ikkyo sees Yukurisu as a shocker, the relationship is over, but it's already too late. Ikkyo lands dramatically, asks for their identities, and Tajima proudly says he's the guy who fought a shocker. Ikkyo suddenly loses his cool when shockers are mentioned. To clear the confusion, Tajima transforms into Kamen Rider in front of everyone. Ikkyo laughs in disbelief and asks who the strongest Kamen Rider is. Tajima proudly says it's him, but Ikkyo confidently claims V3 is the real strongest. Tajima refuses to accept it and challenges him. Ikkyo stays calm, saying he doesn't need a mask to prove he's a true Kamen Rider. He strikes V3's iconic pose, shocking Tajima.